Now let's discuss about the most interesting topic, constructors. Later we'll move to the four pillars of the OOPS. Now coming to the topic, constructors. What are the types of constructors? There are four types of constructors, which is default constructor, no argument constructor, parameterized constructor, and copy constructor. We'll discuss each of them individually and their advantages and disadvantages. Coming to the default constructor automatically created by the compiler if no constructor is written manually. No argument constructor written by the programmer without any parameters. Don't worry, I'll share the example code snippet immediately after the explanation of the theory. Parameterized constructor that accepts the parameters to initialize object values. Copy constructor. A constructor is used to copy data from one object to another object. First of all, what is constructor? Why it is used and where it is used? A constructor initializes object values automatically during the object creation. You didn't get it right. Okay, we'll go with the real banking scenario. When a customer tries to open account in any of the bank immediately assigns account number, customer name, initial balance. This automatic setup is done with the help of the constructor. Now let's discuss the default constructor and every other constructor deeply. So, what is default constructor? If you do not write any constructor, Java automatically creates one internally. This is called default constructor. Suppose let's say you're having a class of bank account and you're having a parameter of string account holder name double balance. Even though we didn't write any constructor here, Java internally creates a bank account automatically. By calling that constructor, the object creation is done. What happens internally? Java creates an object with the default values. Suppose let's say the string default value is null. The double default value is zero point 0.0. Now the default value becomes account holder name is equal to null and double balance is equal to zero point 0.0. This is the use of default constructor. Let's say customer starts account opening process but bank employee has not filled the details yet. So account exists but the data is empty. Here the important point is default constructor is only provided only if no constructor existed in class. The moment you write any constructor manually, Java stops providing default constructor. This is all about the default constructor. Now the second type of constructor is no argument constructor. What is it? What is no argument constructor? A constructor written manually without any parameters. Suppose let's take a class of bank accounts. We have two parameters. We saw this the same example in the default constructor. Here we did not create any new constructor, so Java automatically creates a default constructor internally up to this case. But we have already created a constructor with public bank accounts with the class name. So now if you observe, here we have created a constructor manually. In the next step, we have initialized the object creation with the help of bank accounts, ACC1, new bank accounts. Why are we creating this manually? What's the use of this? Suppose if any new customer registers to this bank account, the minimum balance will be 1000 and the account holder name will be displayed. Bank automatically gives temporary customer name and welcome balance during the account creation. Why companies use this? The companies use this to initialize the default setup values. For example, to make it easy, to maintain the minimum balance, default account status, default branch, default account type. This is why we use this no argument constructor. And the important difference between default and no argument is default is created by the compiler and no arg constructor is written by the programmer. And the default is having the gives the default values. In the default constructor it will have default values and it is invisible because it is created by the compiler and it is not shown in the program, whereas no arg constructor which is already written by the programmer can assign to the custom values, so it is visible in the code. This is all about the no arg constructor. So now let's talk about the parameterized constructor, which is the most important constructor which is already used in the real world projects. What is the meaning? A constructor that accepts the parameters to initialize the object values. You didn't understand it, right? Now I'll show this with an example so that it will be very clear. We have discussed in the previous topic regarding the no-arg constructors, but now we are going to deal with the parameterized constructors, which are mostly used in the real-world applications. Let's see the code snippet first. Creating a string with the name, account holder name, double with balance, and I'm initializing the parameterized constructor public HDFC Bank string name double balance. Did you find any difference the last NOR constructor to this constructor? I'll show you the difference. Now we are using this keyword to assign this parameter to that class. This dot balance. Again, I'll explain the keywords again in the later topics. As of now, you just remember this refers to the current class, to the current object. You can remember in that way. So we have initialized the parameter constructor. So what's the next step? We have to create an object with the help of this constructor. How do we create an object? Let's say with the class HDFC Bank, account 1 is equal to new HDFC Bank. Why it is showing error here? Any ideas? Because in the last topic, no argument constructor, we didn't have any arguments to place over there. But here we are having two parameters to place. Now, the name is one parameter. Let's take an example Rahul as name and balance is 5000 rupees. So we have successfully created an object using this constructor. Now we can also create multiple objects at the same time using the same class name. Account number 2 and we are changing the name to Kumar, balance of 500 rupees. Now we have created a parameterized constructor. Now we have created an object using that parameterized constructor and we can also call these objects in the main method. So what exactly is happening behind the scenes? Behind the scenes, values are passed dynamically. For the name Rahul, the balance is 5000 rupees and for the name Kumar, it is 500 rupees. These are stored as final object in memory. Suppose let's say the real meaning of this application is when customer opens the account, bank captures customer's name, opening balance, and other parameters, whatever you have declared. This is exactly parameterized constructor behavior. Why real companies use this? Because every customer has different types of data. So we have to use dynamic initialization here. So we can also create multiple objects using the same class with different customer data, exactly like real banks. This is all about the parameterized constructor. Now coming to the last constructor, which is copy constructor. Constructor use it to copy data from one object to another object. You didn't get this point, right? If you are a guy coming from C++, you will be shocked because Java does not provide a built-in copy constructor like C++. This constructor is used to copy data from one object to another data. It's nothing but creating a data from previous object to the new object like a duplicate. Let's see this with an example. Earlier we have created a constructor for the HDFC bank and we have created an object for it in the main method, which is HDFC account 1 Rahul and HDFC account 2 with some other name. Now slightly we are modifying this with the help of copy constructor. Simply we have to take the same constructor name and invoke the constructor directly as a parameter here and declare a parameter over here and call them with the help of the declared parameter. So whenever you try to print, suppose let's say HDFC Bank account 1 new HDFC Bank, this balance will be showing Rahul and balance is 5000. When you try to call the HDFC account 2, it will call it from account 1. So then the balance will be the same. Then where it is used? It is mostly used in transaction snapshots, statement generation, backup systems, audit history, and duplicate account migration. These are the real world examples where this copy constructor is really used. Now we have seen default constructor, no-R constructor, parameterized constructor, and copy constructor. And there is one small topic left in the constructor. This is also very important topic. Constructor name should be is equivalent to class name, which is very mandatory. And a constructor cannot have any return type, not even void. And it is called automatically during object creation, and it can be overloaded and it cannot be overridden by any override methods, and it can use this and super keyword and invoke the constructors to the objects. These are the important set of rules to be remembered while creating the constructors.